Let's go.
Here we go.
What's going
As
on?
I stated, if you're not in marriage for the long haul,
Yeah, he don't really
give
do
it
that.
up.
I was practicing.
Give it
Might have
up.
to
You ain't practicing nothing.
let me get my hands ready.
What's up, world? What's up, world?
Yo,
What's
what's
up,
up,
y'all?
y'all?
Thank y'all for being on my man Headboard Greg's podcast.
Headboard Craig's podcast. Real talk with Headboard Craig.
Can y'all introduce yourselves and let the people know how long y'all been married?
Okay, well, I'm Anthony,
Lakeisha.
and together we the
Where the
Rices,
rice is.
and we've been together for 15 years, but married 14.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. So I am Trevor D. Jackson Sr. My wife Robin is will be joining us shortly. We've been together for 28 years, and we've been married 21 last week Thursday. 21 of those
Woo!
30 years.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Hey,
Thank you. Thank you.
let's go. That
So,
is a journey for real.
yes.
You
So
ain't never
that take a
lied.
lot of work, a lot of communication, a lot of
Yeah.
forgiveness, a lot
And a
of
lot of arguments.
yeah, a lot
A
of
lot of a
arguments
lot of
to
arguments, a
to
lot
get
of
over.
patience,
Yeah.
Mm,
A lot of understanding, a lot of misunderstandings.
a lot of
yep.
sacrifices.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
A lot of
overall, what it
sacrifices.
really takes, what it truly take behind every category that we just named, it takes love.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because all of those things happen and it's normal. But when you got love, it's what sustain the marriage, what keep everything together.
Hmm.
You know, that's
Yeah.
the glue to it all.
Yep. Besides
There's
God.
some relationships that's more than other things, but when they marry, when they have love, then the marriage stay together. You know,
Yep. So, what's what was some of y'all biggest arguments that y'all had to really look at yourselves to overcome it and show love?
Who do you want to go first?
It's like it's I hear a delay. I don't know if it's just
like an
me. It's
echo.
like an echo, really bad.
It probably
Oh,
might be me.
well,
Or do you hear one when we talk, Trev? Because
Can
it
you
may
hear
be
me?
back and forth.
I can hear you. So what I'm doing is I'm waiting until your light goes off because when a person speaks, it lights up. So when your light goes off, then I know that you are done speaking because I know I see the delay as well. So I'm just waiting
Oh,
until the light goes off so then I can speak, and then we could do it like vice versa.
yeah.
Okay.
So, I I give it to the Rices. So hopefully by the time they finish, your wife join us, Trev.
What was the question again?
about what are some of the biggest arguments we have had? I mean, if I have to answer it first, what I'm going to say is first off, the arguments it changed from the years of growth. You know what I'm saying? Early in a marriage, I used to be upset about a lot of things. Like I would be mad that I wasn't her only one, you know, and stupid stuff
Mm,
like that, you know, because at the end of the day, when you love somebody, you want them to be untouched, unloved, and you know, stuff that's not really existent. You know what I'm saying? So it was really like petty. You know what I'm saying? Things that it's not realistic. But those were some of the arguments we had. You know what I'm saying? Then you had arguments about we were still young. So the way she would dress, you know what I'm saying? I would be upset that somebody would get an opportunity to look at my wife. I had a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm going to the bathroom. Okay. Can you give me a tissue?
We gotta get paused for a second because he gotta do something about
Yeah,
his
she's
nose.
killing me. I'll be right back. I'll let you answer yours. I'll be right back.
It's not only killing him, it's killing Lakeisha because she's like, oh my gosh, you got to get out of my ear or do something, go in the backyard. Figure it out.
Because nobody, so because for a person, I have misophonia, and
Yes, I
every
know. Yes,
noise is like
it's
enhanced in my ears, and
yes,
I just
yes.
I try my hardest to, I really do. I be trying my hardest to really just settle in, but it starts to, I feel like I'm closed in. Like I
Close
can't hear
it,
nothing else but him sniffling. I can't hear nothing else. All I hear is, and it's,
yeah.
She rolled her eyes and everything.
and he wasn't, he I don't know what happened. It's like right before we sat down, he started sneezing, like his allergies started turning up.
Turning up,
And then
yeah.
boom, he sat down and he's right here directly in my ear. So I hear everything. I've been asking the Lord to deliver me from this for forever, because I promise you, it's not just him. It's everybody. I don't care who's around me. If I hear you smacking, if I hear you clicking a pin, if I hear you tapping, if
Jesus.
you breathing too hard, I'm gonna be
Too
like, you all
hard.
right? You
Breathing too
good?
hard is gonna set you off. Is breathing too hard is gonna set you off.
Yo, the breathing, it be the breathing for me. Like the breathing for me be like, are you
Like what?
asleep? Are you,
Are you hello? Are you well? Are you can't be well
hello? Like, are
breathing
you
too
all
hard.
right?
this
Yes.
this
Do we need to call the
this
ambulance at
argument
this point?
live on podcast.
Like, are
This is
you all
listen,
right?
y'all.
Like, why are you
This
breathing
is
like that?
live. This is real. This is real life, y'all. And this is all.
Yes.
These are the moments of marriage that marriage people we I treasure hearing another married couple talking about their spouse. I love it because I know that
Yes.
I'm not alone when I talk about my wife.
I know that I'm not alone.
I know that
Yes.
I'm not
I
alone.
know that I'm not alone.
I know stuff that happens in my house is happening in other households too that I can
Yes.
relate to.
Yes.
We should
I
have
can
the
relate
live
to
on right
that.
now.
Yes.
Like I can relate to
You know
my
what's
sister
funny?
like
Yes. You can relate to that. 'Cause
Yeah, because a marriage without issues is not a real marriage.
no, it's not.
Because you gonna have to forgive, you gonna have to show love when you mad, upset, don't want to. You gonna have to do all of that. Forgive, you know. Hopefully, you spend time with
it's
the
not even
Lord
a part.
at
It's
that
not even a
time. You
partnership.
working on forgiveness.
Yeah.
It's not even a partnership. It's like a business deal.
Yeah, that's what a lot of marriages is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Because
business deal.
when you feel some type of way, you should be able to talk to your partner. And when
Yep.
you can't talk to your partner, that's an issue. And when your siblings, if you got siblings, if they overstep, then that's an issue too.
Yeah.
And your spouse got to see that that's an issue. So if you're not listening, then or try not to listen, that's an issue. So it has to be taken care of, and that's a cause of argument, disagreement, split up. Like this
Hmm.
is what this is for. It's for people to see and see themselves and sit with God and say, "Okay, God, what about me? What am I doing wrong in this marriage?
Yeah.
So I can
Yeah.
get right, for my
Hmm.
spouse." So that's what this podcast is about. So you know, like I told Trev, it's gonna be testimonies in here and everything. So, it's an iron sharper iron marriage edition. I just gotta figure out the rest, because
Hmm.
what we're doing is sharpening other people that's need to be sharper.
Facts. I know for me, some of our biggest, me and my wife's biggest arguments came just from a miscommunication or misunderstanding. You know, And that's why communication is so key, because when you have clear, precise communication, it leaves no room for someone to be like, "Oh, I thought this or I thought that," you know. And so, yeah, I can say that it was like Ant said, it was like little stuff. You know, it wasn't like big, life changing arguments. It was, I mean, or situations. It was just like little stuff. And so, communication has to be a very, very important part, a key part of
Yes.
not just a marriage, but any relationship. Whether it be in business and whatever, in the marketplace, whatever. You have to have clear communication.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm. Well, what
So
it is you're stepping out of something of a single person. You stepping out of a character of a single person, and you're trying to come into a commitment with someone else. And so the things that you're used to having your way, you gotta change. You know what I'm saying? You gotta navigate now. You know what I'm saying? What's accepted? What's not, accepted, and things of that such. So you will find yourself where me coming from a person that's running around with a whole bunch of women and me doing what I want, they have to listen to me, and then her being the opposite where everybody that she ever deals with, they know that it's just y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I have to find myself learning how not to bring that mentality into this situation, which is our marriage. And those things cause arguments. You know what I'm saying? Those things cause arguments because the way that I was speaking was how I was speaking to other people. Had to remember, so you can't talk like that now the way you are, what you would to somebody else.
Hmm.
You got to talk with a little more love, a little more compassion. Things are different. You know what I'm saying? The things that I was asking for, the things that I desired and wanted, you got to leave those things out now when you move on, you come into a marriage. You know what I'm saying? So basically what you're doing is you compromising for the better. You know what I'm saying? And when you use that term could be for small things and it could be for big things. Because you can use that for the beginning of a marriage, and you also could use it for somebody that been married for so long. And the reason I said that you compromise for the better is because she has things that won't be considered bad that still could annoy me. And I can have some ways about me that won't be considered bad that can annoy her. So what do? We compromise. Sometimes she have to understand me. Sometimes I have to understand her. Because you may be with somebody, right? And they might just want to talk about everything that ever happens. And then you got this person that's just like to let stuff go. So is it wrong for letting certain things go? And is it wrong for talking about certain things? No. So you have to let some things go. And then you have to be willing to talk some things all the way out. That's how you meet in the middle. But if
yep.
You got to
somebody's
put
not getting with their way, then that can
right,
cause a problem. So
right.
you compromise for the better.
It's learning. It's
Yeah.
learning to pick those battles. You got to pick your poison. Do you want? Do you want to go to sleep tonight, or do you want to sit up talk and talk? I personally want to go to sleep tonight.
Well, it
So
sure be some long
being
nights.
that I want to go to sleep tonight, yo, you got it. You got it, sis. I ain't even arguing with you. You are correct, and I'm not saying that to shut you up either. There are times where that might be my go-to, and I'm honest to say, yeah, there are times where I say stuff just to be like, all right, I want her to just be quiet. Just Robin, all right, you are correct. But then every time I do that, or if that's my go-to, that's a bigger issue because now I done upset her even further. I further upset her because she
Mhm.
knows that I'm saying you got it just so that she could be quiet. So,
Hmm.
you gotta pick your poison. You gotta pick, you gotta pick which battle you willing to fight to the end and which battle you willing to say, hey, you won, I surrender. And mean it.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, another question: what was the hardest thing that happened in marriage where you had to? It was harder to for you to forgive yourself instead of your spouse.
It like broke up a little bit.
Yeah, say that again,
So,
Greg.
what was the hardest thing that you had to forgive yourself, or no, the hardest thing that you forgave your spouse, but it was harder for you to forgive yourself for something. Like if you did something and say your spouse did something and both of y'all did something and you forgave your spouse, but you really felt bad about it because of the level that you stooped to, but it was harder for you to forgive yourself more than your spouse.
Um, well, I'm gonna try to iron it out this way. I think because I'm just gonna say it like this: the infidelity that I brought to my marriage, right? Um, I forgave my wife for everything that I've caused to get her reaction the way she reacted. But as far as myself, it took a little while for me to forgive myself for it because I had to look back at that person who caused such, heinous crimes in my marriage, like the things that I've done. And so I couldn't even believe that I did that to such a beautiful person. You know what I'm saying? So that took a lot out of me. So that was something I had to find a way to forgive myself a little more, at the end. But I definitely forgave her for all the things that she had to endure and how she reacted because, she wouldn't have to come out of her character the way she did if it was not for the infidelity. So that's something I could say I had to forgive her, forgive myself.
Yeah,
Miss Rice.
I can concur. I can concur with that, man. Like it took me, I would say, up until right before COVID to forgive myself. And like one day I was just looking back and I was just like, dang, I was just, self-reflecting and I was just like, yo, I was a real scumbag. I did this girl really bad. Really bad. Like I said it. Um, for those of you who will watch this, we've all connected outside of this podcast space. And big shout out to our homeboy Greg Ford, aka Headboard Greg, for having us on this podcast. But we know we all connected. And I told a little bit of me and my wife's story, and I did it bad, and I played in her face. And when you play in a person's face, and the person really is like, yo, one thing I've learned about women is that when they get you out of their system, when a woman gets a man out of her system, and she's like, no, I've really had enough of you. I'm really done with you. When she says I'm done, you better believe her when she says she's done.
Yeah.
You heard R.
And
Kelly, when a woman's fed up.
when a woman's fed up, and I mean, I was this close. I was so close to being out of my wife's system. And God knows, only God knows how my life would have turned out if she would have got me fully out of her system. Only God
Mm.
knows.
Uh,
Here she come. Here come the birthday girls. I was close.
Happy
I was
birthday,
close to being.
sis.
Yeah.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining. I was about to say
Okay,
about
little
time, but
birthday girl.
how you doing, boo? Clock it.
I
Clock
got
it.
they can today.
No, you tell it towards you.
It's backwards, but it says yes, it's my birthday, June 8th.
Yeah. It's not backwards. We see it. It's mirrored.
Okay, good.
Hmm.
Trevor, what are you doing?
Sit down.
All right.
so was you finished, Trev, or I would go let the ladies speak from their point of
Yeah,
view?
my infidelity, I can concur with my brother. My infidelity, it took a long time for her to forgive me. And it took an even longer time for me to forgive me. And some days I catch myself saying to her, yo, I'm really sorry, like, for how I treated you and what I did, and how I made you feel, and to put you in that space, because Like, it broke her. And as a young man, you don't know life and love and relationship, especially if you've never seen it.
Facts, because neither one of us saw it. Neither one of
You
us saw
know,
what a healthy, happy marriage
marriage
looked
look
like. Because we
like.
both came from broken
So
homes.
when you
But
don't
it's
know
okay, babe. We celebrated 21 years last week.
21 years,
Congratulations.
listen, and like I said at the beginning, if you're not in it for the long haul, don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the long haul, y'all.
I think for me, um, the hardest part about getting through, because I easily forgive. For me, it was more or less of, moving forward after, after I did forgive. It was like, just how do I move forward? How do I get through? Because I knew that I loved him, and I knew that forgiveness was always going to be something that I was going to give him, because of course, you know, I'm not perfect. And so I know that there was still things about myself that I needed to fix. There were some, you know, daddy issues, mommy issues, abandonment issues. There was like a whole bunch of things that I was going through. And all he really was doing was triggering what was already inside of me. So it just brought about a different type of person and anger and stuff. So I had to learn how to, one, I had to learn how to heal from my childhood traumas in order to fully forgive him, because he was opening up wounds that I thought was closed. And
Mm.
Mm.
so that to me was like the hardest part about the forgiveness part, was really trying to figure out, am I really, of course I'm mad at you because you've cheated, but my anger, there was like this anger that was in me, and this rage that was in me that was unsettling. And I knew that it didn't come from him. I knew that it was already there, but it was just masked with our love and our marriage. And then once he did something, it was like, okay, yeah, like we just like, like
Right.
you're just like this person, you're just like that person, and so to me, that was kind of like the hardest part about the forgiveness part, was just moving through and moving forward.
Yeah, it's
Miss
that fear
Jackson.
of it. Can it happen again? Will it happen again?
Yep. Always on
You
the
know,
edge.
always on the edge. All right, they going out. They by themselves. Who they with?
Yep.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
that notion that is always playing on your emotions when you're not in their presence.
Yeah. And
But
I can say, sorry, go ahead.
no, brother. You got it. If you about to add something to it, go on.
Um, I can say that in my times, like even before me and my wife got married, um, you know, I'm sure y'all been, everybody been cheated on. But even the times I cheated and I won't with my wife, sometimes I felt bad for cheating, because it's like this woman don't deserve what I'm doing. Um, so it's like it just made me feel bad, but it didn't stop me. So, in this time I'm learning pretty much more about myself, um and just kind of pinpoint where it comes from, so I won't be in that position again, because it really bothered me, not just because it hurt my wife, but it hurts God too, because
Yeah.
that's his daughter. And on my first podcast, talking with Apostle Jackson and his wife, I asked about like the would a would your wife be out of place, make you cheat? And he said it's all about the relationship we got with God determines how you treat your spouse, pretty much.
Yep.
So if
Mm-hmm.
if your relationship is messed up with him, you're not gonna treat your spouse right. So that's one
That's
thing
good.
that not really crossed my mind, but now I know, like I'm learning myself more, and I'm changing for the better. Um, like
I don't know
nobody's
if this
perfect.
I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't know how the audio is going to sound on the playback. I don't know if y'all hear it, but it sounds horrible on
It
this
does.
end.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
it's like
It's like
it's
frozen.
such a horrible feedback. It sounds
Yeah,
terrible.
it does.
Well, once we finish and edit and stuff, it I if it don't sound too good, I will get back in contact with y'all. Maybe we can do it again.
well,
Okay.
let's try this for the time being. Like Greg, if you talk now, let's try to mute our mics and see if that works.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Yes.
Is that better? Okay. Um, but yeah, just thinking about all
And
the times I did.
real quick, Greg, and then when you want one of us to speak, you call on who you want to speak, and then we'll unmute it like that, so we won't have so much feedback.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so when it, it was hard for me to forgive myself, like I said, because one, I hurt the person I love, and I hurt God, and I was in a place where I felt like I would never be on that list for anybody or on the list that God has of the people that does wrong. So that bothers me. So I I'm just learning about myself and for I forgive myself. God forgave me and God forgave y'all, and I'm definitely proud of y'all of the testimony that y'all sharing because it's it's gonna help other couples that are going through, whether they just got married, they been married 5 years or 15 or 50, you know, because people do change. Once you get to the point of changing, you know, most of the time it's about that time where, like Trev said you about to get that person out your system. That's right. That's when the person change, and that's when you can make your choice. But I know I wasn't fully healed. My mind wasn't right when I got in my marriage. So um but my mind is right now. I'm more focused now. So um Miss Robin, what caused you to forgive Trev for his um for him stepping out?
Um, are we talking about during marriage or before?
That's the question you
Both.
should have
I'll answer the question for during marriage because that's what would be key and what would be
had.
important. He had my heart. Trevor had my heart, and I loved him. And I used to always say to like my god sister and some of my friends, oh, when I get married, if my husband ever cheat on me, I'm out, I'm leaving, I'm gone, da 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 da. But it's not until you get into that predicament that you could really tell what you're gonna do. Not saying that it was an excuse for him, but when he stepped out on me, we were in a very rough patch. Um, we were still fairly new. I want to say we were probably only 2 or 3 years into the marriage at the time.
Yep.
About 3 years
Yes,
into the
3
marriage
years.
at the time. Um, he lost his job. We had to move in with his mother. My family, it was five at the time. Asher was just a baby. And here it is, our family of five is now living out of his mother's living room. So it was a lot, and again, not excusing it, but it was a lot going on. Um, it was a lot of pressure that was on him as the head of the household, as the man, as the husband, and the enemy in true form. If we could get spiritual for a moment, he knows how to slither his way in, and he knows he's a
He sure
deceiver.
do.
This is what he does. And that with everything we had going on, um, we had that space. All he needed was that little bit of wiggle room, and we had that space available for him, and he slithered his way on in. And I was like, I told him, I said, I'm not going nowhere. I said, we worked hard to get to this point that we're at right now. We're going to at least try to work this out. I said, and if for whatever reason we can't get through this, then God's will be done. But I was willing to at least fight for it. Sorry, y'all. This sensor.
That's good.
Come on, like, thank
All
you.
right. This sensor, like, where we at? So I was willing to work at it. I was willing to see if we could work through it and get through it. And thank God I could say that we did. I wasn't ready to just be like, oh, you gotta, no, nah, brother, nah. We we got these babies. No, we're not doing that. We're gonna work this out. We're gonna at least say that we tried, that we put forth an effort. We're not just gonna walk away from it. So.
Mm.
And people even to this day come in. It's like, I'm proud of y'all that y'all was able to bounce back. Y'all been people tell us all the time, y'all can write a book. Y'all need to write a book. Y'all need to. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. But so that was why I forgave him. I wasn't. Trevor and I said when we got married, we were in it for the long haul. Like he said, he was raised by a single mother. I was raised by a single mother. Neither of our fathers were there. And we were determined that we was going to be them cycle breakers. And so I stuck with him, and we worked through it.
So this question is for the ladies. Do y'all regret anything that y'all have went through with your husband? And then once y'all answer, switch it over to the to the guys. Which one of y'all want to go first?
I'll
I
go.
don't
For me,
regret anything.
go ahead, Kalisha.
Um, I don't regret anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't regret anything. The only thing that I regret, I I know I said I don't regret anything, but I do. I do. The only thing that I regret is not knowing the Lord sooner in my marriage to be able to go to war in the spirit rather than fighting in the flesh from the beginning, because that's what made it much harder. It's like it was fighting fire with fire. You know what I'm saying? It was literally fighting fire with fire. There was no, I've always prayed, but I just wasn't a prayer warrior. Like I prayed, but I didn't know how to pray for my marriage. I prayed, but I didn't know how to pray in the spirit. I just, I did a lot of complaining. I talked a lot about our marriage. I gossiped a lot about our marriage, to his mom, to my friends, people that would just listen because I needed an outlet. I needed someone to talk to. So that's honestly the only thing that I regret. I regret not knowing the Lord sooner. Like I knew him, but I didn't have a relationship with him. And so that's the only thing that I regret.
For me, I don't have any. I don't have any regrets. Well, no, I'm kind of like I'm kind of like sis. I think the only thing I can say I regret is um we were young and we were unlearned. There was a lot of things that we didn't know. There were some things that I wish if we knew sooner, we could have implemented them sooner. And I feel like we could be somewhat better off than what we are. I'm grateful for where we are. We're okay. We got a roof over our head. We're doing okay. Um, but as far as like being with him or staying with him, I don't have no regrets. I just wish that we would have learned some things and knew some things sooner. Like we knew about God. He was always that third strand. Even in the mess ups, even in the stepping out. Like she said, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect, but as far as being with him, no, I don't have no regrets. I just wish that there were some things that we knew sooner that we could have implemented earlier on in our marriage. That would have been more beneficial. So yeah.
All right, Trev.
Um, like the lady said, just having the knowledge of, you know, like what relationship really looks like. You know, having that male figure to say, "Hey, kiddo, come on over here. Let me rap with you for a second." You know, um, like like Robin said, my father wasn't there, and then the father that I did had, he passed away, and then his best friend stepped in, and he passed away. So it was just like at that point, I was just on my own, and so having um, a mentorship or a mentor rather in the early stages of my marriage, I think that would have been really beneficial. Not just a mentor, but somebody who is consistent. Because when you see consistency, it builds a pattern, and then it becomes a discipline. And so, just that would be my only, out, besides the actual infidelity, um, before and after the marriage. Let me be clear. That's how I was really bad. I was bad before the marriage, and I was badder after the marriage. And so, you know, if you're gonna work to be better, you got to put in the work to be better.
All right, and
For me, I'm gonna make a bold, mature statement here, right, and say for any marriages that's striving, I don't think it's ever a regret for anyone. And I'm saying that because we are all ministers of the gospel. And in order for us to be who we are for God in this day and time, we had to endure some pain. We had to go through some things. We had to go through that to be able to minister and be able to help others. Because had we not, and we did, go through like the stuff that we say we regret, if we was to take all those things away, what type of ministers would we be? We literally would be so plain and there would be nothing there, nothing to talk about. We will have to be creators of the ministry if that's what if we didn't have anything. But because we went through so much, let me tell you something. Even y'all talking about when y'all being at a low place and, the five of y'all being in a house, let me tell you something. We experienced some of the same things, right?
Mhm.
And the crazy part about it is that was a challenge at one point because you wanted to know that even with you being out of place or things not being right, you know, am I still the man in my relationship? Am I still the man that that she desire? Because you know what type of men that are out in the world, they go getters and things of the such. But then you also got to come back to your mind and say that's what make marriage what it is. It's an obstacle. Are we going to get through this? That's what make it fun. Because the truth of the matter is both people. Had I not been in a relationship and I didn't have responsibilities that I do have now, I wouldn't be going through the struggles either. We all making money different ways. However that may look, she could have met somebody else who had money, but does that mean they would have been happy? So it's all different type of ways you
Excuse
look
me.
at it. So overall, it's all necessary for who we are today. And it's gonna be what it is, man. So the best part about it is trying to figure it out, trying to figure it out. And our kids is gonna grow up, and one thing they're gonna say is, "My parents, they made it work. However they did it, they made it work. My mom and dad, they push, they pull, they made it work." You know what I'm saying? They ain't gonna see no quitters. They ain't gonna see nobody walking away. They saw it work. No matter how low it may be, no matter how high you may reach, but they gonna say they seen it happen. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I will leave it at.
I think it's great that y'all are still fighting. Because a lot of marriages right now they throwing in somebody throwing in the towel after disappointments or um having regrets, just stuff that goes on in a marriage. And I feel like a lot of people, when stuff happen, they forget their vows that they made to death do us part, and they let little stuff break them apart. And so I congratulate y'all on continue to work on your marriage and continue to learn each other and continue to fight and show love. And main thing is inviting God into the marriage.
Well, they didn't forget the vows, Greg. They never respected them. It wasn't
True.
that they forgot them.
Right.
They never respected the vows. You know what I'm saying? And they became addicted. And the crazy thing about it, we were just talking about this on our live the other day, that when you say people are addicted, you start thinking of things like drugs and sex and money and all these things. But the main addiction can be self. Some people are, self addicted to the point where they only worry about themselves. What makes them happy? What's better for them? They don't want to go through the pain. It's them. It's all about them. So when you
Sorry.
become a self addict, that's where the problem come in at. Because you truly can't love your partner if you're a self addict. You can't. Because what the
Well,
word says in the Bible, I gotta love her like Christ loved the church. That don't leave no room for me to be an addict of myself. And for her to, and for God to say, submit your, wives, submit yourselves unto the husband as he submit himself, you know what I'm saying? Where do that leave her room to be an addict of herself?
Right.
You have to become selfless. You got to love each other. It's a push and pull. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened in people that's throwing in the towel. They throw it in because they become self-addicted. They want what they want for them. And when they no longer see themselves striving or making it or having it, then they want out. They don't want to do it no more.
Yo, I was just
that's
talking
good.
to Rob. I was just talking to her about being selfless. Yep, and that's what you have to do.
Yeah. I mean, because when you marry and you hold stuff against each other, you building up a wall between y'all, and once y'all forgive each other and are saying we're not gonna let this wall divide us, we gonna be one like God made us. We gonna look like God, designed for us to look like Him. So y'all gonna tear down the wall. Y'all gonna make sure that no argument is go just be swept under the rug or um sorry little gnat or y'all go discuss and be respectful to each other. Y'all go communicate. Y'all go try. Y'all go push. Y'all go get out of your comfort zone and show that we go make this work. Like we can't allow the enemy to win because the Bible said he'll form a weapon, but it won't work. So it only works when you throw in the towel. You just tired. So you made a vow, so it takes work. The vows easy to say, but afterwards it takes work. So you got to keep working on it, you know. And so that's one thing I learned. And even though I got both of my parents here, and I see them, I see flaws in their marriage. I see flaws in different people marriage, but it's what I see. I should uh, I should take and look at me and see if that's in me, and so I can work on it. And because I said that I won't go treat my wife like this, and I end up doing what I said I won't go do. So it takes work on both parts, not just one. But your spouse got to give your spouse got to give you time to work on yourself and get to that place that you're willing to work on yourself and understand. Because sometimes, a lot of times, you're not in that mind space of I need to work on myself. You're not really looking at yourself like you should. So it's definitely a hard thing to do, and if you're not willing to put in work, and I need to try, and I need to talk about it. So, another question. Um, well, Miss Miss Rice, um, have you always looked at your husband as a man, or was there any time you looked at him as a boy? And I asked that question because on my first podcast, Apostle said, "I see you as a man, and my wife sees you as a man." So so that shows how you treat other people. Is is what I'm saying. Is how what you see. Like I'm sure he see you as a woman and not a girl. So if that kind of clears up why I'm asking the question.
I see him as a man now because, he's leading and, he's submitted to God. But, when we first got married and stuff like that, no, he definitely, the Bible says that, when you grow older, that you put away childish things. And so, um, there were a lot of things that I was able to point out in him that was still immature. But also it was kind of vice versa. Like, that we both were very immature. We were young, and we both had a lot of growing up to do. So I could definitely point out some times where I did not see him as a man. I definitely
I am a
saw
boy, Damon.
him. I saw him as a boy. But now, that we've grown and, he's fully submitted to God, he's walking in that leadership role and leading us and, being the head of our family. I definitely see him as a man, which is why, before it was easy to disrespect him. It was easy to wear the pants in the relationship because he wasn't leading the way that he should have been leading. So it was easy for me to be like, come out of character and be extra masculine and stuff like that. But now I wouldn't dare do that now because I know my position. I'm playing my position well because he's playing his position well, and it just works.
I'm gonna make another bold statement behind that, Greg, if I may. I'm gonna say this for people. You are not a woman nor a man if you're not living by God's rules. I'm going to be honest with you. If you are not submitted to God, and that's for man or woman, then you are
Period.
immature. And the reason you immature is because you running from responsibility.
Hmm.
God has set us all here to do a certain task while here on earth. And if you are not doing that task, then what are you doing? All you're doing is doing what you're comfortable doing,
Yeah.
and that's sin. So if you're doing sin and you're comfortable doing it, then you are immature. Some people think because you are a gangster and you rob people, that makes you a man because you bully. No, that makes you a man because you bullying people. You're still running from a responsibility. You're supposed to be a man, raise a family, teach them, show the woman how to do things. That's when you become a man. So even if you think you're a man because of your age or you making money or that don't make you a man. If you ain't submitting unto God and doing what you're supposed to do, then you are immature. Because I promise you, God is going to judge it as you being immature. You ain't gonna make it into his kingdom. So man, no matter how you think you a man, you're gonna be a failing one. You know what I'm saying? So for you to get the judgment and say, God say, well done, and you did what you're supposed to do as a man or whatever he set you to do, then you're gonna be immature if you don't step up to the plate. So you gotta step up to the plate and do God's work. Anybody that's not doing God's work is they're not a man or a woman. They little girls and little boys, period. They running from responsibility.
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's assignment, and everybody has an assignment. A husband has an assignment. A wife has an assignment. A daughter has an assignment. A son has an assignment. Grandparents have an assignment. Aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, stepmothers. Everybody has an assignment. And when we learn what our assignment is, according to the Bible, according to the will of God, your marriage, if you learn it early, your marriage will do nothing but succeed. If you learn that early, God placed me as the head for a reason, to protect, to provide, He placed the women to nurture and to groom and to prune. Everybody has, everybody. If everybody's, if as a husband I stay in my lane and my wife stay in her lane, we could ride this wave. We could ride this. We could drive this 95 straight. We could hit 95 going. So everybody just do that. Just play the position and work together, communicate. And there's nothing that y'all can't
Amen.
accomplish.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Look, if you want, man, we could make it part two and come back to it too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a part two. I was just kind of laughing at Trail because that light keep going off.
I know. Y'all pray. Yeah, listen. Y'all pray for us, man. We need a house, and I'm tired of renting, and I want
So are we.
ownership.
Amen to
I am
that, Lord. You
tired
hear your
of
servant.
renting.
Seriously,
I'm
I'm so tired
sick
of.
of it.
We so tired of renting.
It's draining my nerves. I'm so tired of renting. So
Well, get
please,
back on
I'm
down
praying
south
for
then,
the rest.
Trev. Come on.
Listen.
Come on back
I'm
down south,
really
Greg.
listen to me.
Trev.
Go back down to
Come on
where?
back down south, brother. Come on back down
I
south with
mean,
us, right, Greg? Tell him.
Yep.
I wouldn't come that far, but I would come close enough. I would come close enough. I
You
would I
can't
would
leave
I would
leave
come
the big
close
city,
enough that
huh?
I can make it drive like within 8 hours or something like that, and then come on back. I'm good.
Well, the only reason I say that is because I know getting a house to my liking in New York for just what
It's not gonna happen.
us driving and working is going to be
It's
it's
not
going to
gonna.
be crazy, man. So that's why it's
It's
like
gonna
coming
be.
down south.
It's
You,
gonna
you
be in the
actually could
billions or something like that.
right. You could earn an honest living here and finally get yourself in a beautiful home. But to
I,
be up north, if you ain't getting that bag, man, to get a
there's no
house up
chance in the
there is
world.
like, yeah, so that's why, and you get more down here, man. You don't gotta worry about tickets. You don't gotta worry about none of that stuff, man. Like they give you a chance to grow, man. New York is
Yeah.
so much pressure, man. Just being up there alone. It's pressure,
Yo, I
too
think
much pressure, man.
New York. New York now is really for the collectives. It's for content creators. It's for people that are artsy. It's for musicians. It's for singers. It's for people. He ran out the gate again. Y'all, I'm sorry. My dog, he be losing his mind. But he came back in. But it's New York is for this this young, these young Negro generation. If I'll say it like that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I know it's for them, and so I'm cool with that. Y'all can have y'all space. Y'all have y'all space. I don't mind being with the Amish people in Pennsylvania. I don't mind coming down south being with the Southerners. I don't mind being with the Koreans or the Asians. I don't mind. I don't mind. I've experienced the concrete jungle. I'm good. So. But listen, let me tell y'all. I'm going to tell y'all this, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be quiet. Part two, we going to really dig deep. We going to really dig deep, and that's all I'm going to say. Part two, we going to really dig deep.
Well, is there anything y'all want to say to the people that's gonna be listening?
Oh,
What I would say is this, man. Uh, if you don't see yourself truly in love through it all, if you can't
Hmm.
even picture what that may look like, then you may want to second guess you step into the plate of God's vows and taking that responsibility. You know what I mean? If you just literally have the picket fence and the beautiful, you know, future in your rear view, and that's all you see, marriage ain't for you.
It's not for you.
Because it's not for the weak.
Marriage is not
Really
Nope.
for
not.
the weak, and we
It's
gonna
not.
leave it at that. We will start the part two with marriage is not for the weak. We'll start part two
Amen.
with that.
That
My
sounds
Yeah.
fault.
Really
perfect.
not.
Yes. Well, y'all got anything else to say?
He can go in and bless us.
You can go on to bless us, Greg, because you know the game starts in about 15 minutes. Game
Yes.
starts in about 15 minutes, brother. I ain't trying to rush you, but the game starts in about 15 minutes.
Miss Rice, you got have Lord spoken to you about blessing us with a song?
Um, I'll do fight. I'll do yeah,
And
I'll do
brother
some
Trev got
fight.
he got to sing the next one.
What?
Trev got to sing the next one.
Okay. I know you're tired. I know you're weak. I know you're ready to throw in the towel, but please don't let that be. So much more left in life that you just can't see. But hold on, you got this. I know that you got this. You have victory.
Fight,
When you're ready to give up,
fight.
don't you ever give up. 'Cause I know it make it hard sometimes. I know it seems so hard. But you're stronger than you think you are. You're stronger than you think you are. So please, hold fine. Oh, oh, fine. Oh, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you can let people know
Yeah.
about your
And
album.
I mean, I'm just feeling like, how she do that? Shoot, trying to bring me out of retirement.
Yes,
Let's
man.
go.
Yeah,
Come
let's
out of
go, Trev.
retirement. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Please come out of retirement. Okay. You guys
Yes.
could follow me on all digital platforms. Follow us, the Rices. I am Lakeisha Rice and Anthony Rice.
Yeah.
How many albums you got?
Um, I have two albums, but I erased one album off of Apple Music. So right now, the current album that I have on Apple Music and all digital platforms is No Genre.
Yeah.
Check it out. Check it out. You will love it. The
Yep.
anointing
Yes,
voice
yes.
is very anointed.
Yep. Thank you. Thank
You're
you for
welcome.
having us. Looking forward to part two
Yeah.
Thank you
with
for
the
Yes.
having
Yes.
us.
Jacksons.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. I definitely appreciate y'all taking the time out to discuss, your testimonies, to share your testimonies with the people to help them to get do a self check and work on their marriage. So or whatever they got going on. So I definitely appreciate we will be in touch. You get
Yes.
up
Thank
Appreciate
with
you,
a
you.
Greg.
part two.
Love y'all, Rice
Yes,
family.
appreciate
Hey,
you.
boy,
Love you
Greg.
Love
Y'all
too.
y'all.
too.
Love you guys, man.
Love y'all.
Love
All right,
y'all.
have a good
Good
Y'all
night, guys.
night.
all right. Be safe.